Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? I am live. I typically don't go live on my channel anymore. Not on YouTube anyway. My biggest platform is now TikTok. So that's where I usually go live. Let me fix this real quick. As you can see, I'm not in my old house. I'm actually in a new space. I'm in a new house. So the last time y'all see me, I was in my office in the new space. I still trying to figure out what I want to do with this space, how I want to structure it, how I want to do the actual studio that's gonna go in here. I'm planning on doing a space for making YouTube content, specifically like live stream, multicast live streams and stuff like that. Um, so you know, that's the housekeeping of it. If you want to follow me, it's at always just John on TikTok. I'm definitely on there a lot more than I am on YouTube. YouTube is not my primary it's not my primary platform. I do mostly Christian content and Christian oriented content. We do some conversations, things like debates. We talk about relationships, we talk about God, we talk about the Bible. So that's basically my reintroduction into YouTube. This is my first live stream in years. I have not been on this platform in years. But I did want to come to YouTube for this live stream because I don't typically do these types of topics on my live streams on TikTok. So I'm trying to figure out how to fuse both of these things, all of these things together. Still trying to figure that out as I move forward. However, let's get into the topic of the day. So we're talking about Johnathan Majors, Keke Palmer, Tyreese, and and I forgot the last person. Tory Lanze. So one of the conversations that I've had is how much all of these situations are showing us with inside of the uh black community dynamic, um how much you cannot believe everything the women say. This is not me being sexist. This is not me being a misogynist. But every time somebody has an allegation, when the facts of the matter come out and we get to see his side, her side, and the truth, or what we can gather from what is the truth, we end up realizing that everybody be lying. Keke Palmer sent out that video and had everybody and their mama talking about, oh, he beating on me, he beating on me, he beating on me. But then when that guy put out his messages and his documentation, that lady beating on him too. Now I know some people, they're gonna be like, oh, that's reactionary, reactionary. We don't know if that's reactionary or not, because according to the messages that she had, and they are available on the internet. I'm not posting that stuff. But according to the messages in the emails that they have, she admits to be beating on that man. She admits it. She admits that she was not a good partner. She admits that she was beating on him. Like, when are we going to come to the realization that every time a woman says something, we just can't run and say that's the truth? We can't do that. Just like the lady, she said, "Oh, Johnathan Majors beat me up," and then we got multiple eyewitnesses, camera angles, all kind of evidence to show that that's not what happened, right? And I know a lot of people want to say, "Oh, it's because she's a white woman. It's because she's a white woman." No, it has nothing to do with her being a white woman. It has everything to do with, if it is about gender, it has to do with her being a woman in general. It has to do with her being a woman in general, not because she's not because of the color of her skin. It has nothing to do with that. The other part about that is the fact that he is a man, a very wealthy man. So anytime you see any of these actors or actresses getting into trouble, they're always going to be held to a higher standard, and they're going to be showed as as being held accountable by the courts, and they're going to try to find any which way to make sure that they put them in the worst light ever, or to make sure they can get a conviction out them to make them an example. I know a lot of people called it a N-word wake up call, but again, this is not a N-word wake up call. It's not. It's just not. This is definitely just us seeing that the Me Too movement and the Believe All Women movement failed. It is a failure of society. It does not work. The moment you start to try to cancel people just because of allegations, it shows that you already had a bias towards the group, to the opposing group. Once you start saying things like believe all women, this, that, and the third, and now you're seeing that these men are being falsely accused, or what is being said about them isn't as profound as what the actual situation is. This goes back to the whole Tory Lanze thing. Tory Lanze has been in jail for a while now. Why is Tory Lanze in jail? Because two women decided to lie on him, and instead of them coming together and saying, no, this is what happened. Now he's in jail because, it's Tory Lanze. It's Meg Thee Stallion. Even though all of the evidence says that Tory Lanze ain't shoot that woman. Sure, Tory Lanze did not shoot this woman. Tory Lanze did not shoot this woman according to the evidence. And we can see it, which makes it even greater that the driver, who couldn't testify at the time, I don't know, I can't remember why he couldn't testify, but the driver even says, nah, that was that girl that shot Meg. She was shooting at Meg. So you got not only DNA evidence, but eyewitness evidence and everything in between, telling the general public and showing to the general public these people are innocent. However, because of the way that mass media works and operates now, and because we have these talking points infiltrating all parts of government, now we have to make men subservient to women and to subservient to the rule of women. But then women want to work. Women in droves are worrying or questioning why men don't want to deal with them. Why men are leaving the states. Why men are deciding to just stay single and play video games for the rest of their life. You can't, if this is the advertisement that if you deal with these women out here, they're going to take you for everything that you have. You're going to possibly end up in jail. If this is the advertisement of having a modern day relationship, who in their right mind would want that? Who in their right mind would want a relationship with somebody of the opposite sex? Because we're not into that other stuff. Who in their right mind would want to have a relationship with somebody like that? And then end up losing a huge portion of their life. Not only we're talking about a time investment, we're talking about a monetary investment. And sometimes we're talking about an emotional investment. And a mental investment. And yada, 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 yada. So you mean to tell me that it's okay for these things to continuously happen, and we just sweep it under the rug and just say, women just being women? Because that doesn't sound really good either. It really doesn't sound good at all if that's the case. We have to clean up. We have to do cleanup. We can't continue down this road. We just can't continue on down this road. This is not going to work. It's not going to work. These relationships are going to continuously deteriorate until we come to the point or come to the understanding that a relationship is not about you. None of this is about you as an individual. It is about the group. It is about the collective. You have to fix yourself as an individual in order to help the group. If you're broken, you have no need trying to enforce your rule on the group because you're broken. Literally, politically, what Believe All Women does is a statement that says make men feel the way we feel. And if you're in a relationship and somebody is consistently being upset about something and trying to make you feel the way they feel, that is abuse. It's called emotional abuse. It is called emotional abuse. Excuse me. And if this is emotional abuse, we can see through the statistics. I don't have them offhand because I just went live. We can see offhand how emotional abuse is something that women do often inside of relationships. So we not only have it in a micro scale, but we also have it on a macro scale as well as to what is going on in these relationships. There's a group dynamic and there's an individualistic dynamic that's going on. So on an individual dynamic, there's emotional abuse, and on a group dynamic, there's emotional abuse. We can't keep on going like this because again, when you say believe all women, it's saying that anytime that a man is being abused, being assaulted, being uh being anything that happens to men in a negative way is okay. And if it's okay for men, it's okay for their boys too. It's okay for the boys too. I'm trying to tell you this is not going to end well. The more and more that these companies start losing money behind women, the more they stop being able to trust women with inside of the workspace. And y'all already know it's mostly men that create these companies. It's not women. Women don't have that many companies or that they either own on a national or international scale or even just are a part of in the leadership on an international and national scale. I'm not talking about your small mom and pops companies. I'm talking about companies on national or international scales. They're not being ran by women. It's not that many that are being ran by women. And if they are ran by women, that's later on after they've been founded by multiple men. Right? So again, when men get their take their power back, it's going to be a cold world for women because of what's going on right now. I guarantee you, when men wake up and start taking their power back, because that's all this is doing, it's just making men like, I don't trust women. So it's going to be even longer for y'all to get a female president unless something spectacular happens. Y'all not going to get a female president. You'll never get a female president because what men have seen from women shows that they're not to be trusted. It's similar to the fear that when that Caucasian people have if African Americans were to all stand up at the same time and flip the domino table over. Oh no, we're going to be in slavery again, and this and the third. It's the same type of fear. So if men see women as enemies and women see men as enemies, but you know for a fact the infrastructure of power is majorly male, what kind of power do you think you're going to get in that aspect? Hollywood is ran by men, not women. They just see where the money is being spent, but it's ran by men. And those more powerful men are using women as pawns to keep their power. See, this is deeper than what we think it is. Men, you don't realize that the power structure that is ahead of you, and this has nothing to do with sexism. It has nothing to do with gender. It has to do with power. It doesn't have anything to do with the patriarchy or the matriarchy, because the matriarchy doesn't even exist inside on a global scale. The matriarchy doesn't exist. The patriarchy doesn't exist either, because power has more to do with control than it has to do with gender. Neither of those things exist on the scales that I'm talking about. It could have been a woman at the top. It could be a woman at the top of all of this. It could be a woman, one lone woman at the top of all of this. Could be right now. But guess what? She doesn't want any men to be able to elevate in their own rights either. See, this is about dominance over a large swaths of people, over control over large swaths of people. This is demonic in sense. People gonna think I'm crazy. When they hear this video, they're gonna think I'm crazy. This is demonic behavior at the higher levels. I'm not talking about Luciferians and blah 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 blah. No, 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 no. I'm talking about a mind state where the only thing there is control. Where the only thing there is power. We're not talking about money. Money is a tool of control. You can make money if you can control enough. You can make money if you can control the minds of enough people. You can make money if you can control the minds of enough people. It's just as simple as that. So with this conversation about, Tory Lanze and this, then the third, I'm guaranteed on the right levels, women are gonna find it even harder to survive because they've left the safety of God, the true God. They left the safety of the men who were supposed to protect them, and they left the safety of the group. They have their own group. But the group that was supposed to protect them was a group that was mixed. They always talking about, we're supposed to have inclusion, 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 inclusion. Yeah. Inclusion said let's leave that other side out. So it wasn't really inclusive. It wasn't inclusive. It was exclusive to bring on quote unquote inclusivity. So that's my talk for today, man. I am out of here. If you like it, please subscribe. Please subscribe. This is probably not going to be the way that this looks forever. I got multiple cameras. This is not, I'm using my webcam right now, and I really want to figure out what the studio is going to look like. But I got to get to work, man. Catch me on TikTok. I do live streams on TikTok, mostly and majority again. And you can like and subscribe on here. I will be starting to do more things on YouTube. Um, yeah, it is what it is, man. Peace and blessings. Gone.